What's going on, fight fans? Welcome back to episode 2 of Fight Castle. I'm your host, Mikey Gunzz, along with my co-host, Taylor Radway. We've got another action-packed show lined up for you guys. This week, the big news here in New England, the world of BKFC officially announced the first ever Bare Knuckle card in Boston, and it's going to be happening at Fenway Park, August 29th. 1 week after Mohegan Sun, August 21st card. So there's going to be some great events coming to this region with some of the best fighters in the world. We'll get into the main event on the Fenway card, which has been announced. We have some inside info from our guy Taylor right here. And aside from that, we'll also dive into a little bit the current news going on in the MMA world. One of the big shocking news that happened this past week, it was Dustin Poirier. Well, we'll talk a little bit about his recent arrest and what that means for one of the most respected and legendary fighters in the UFC. Plus, we'll play matchmaker and give some of our dream fights for the BKFC Fenway card, as not a lot of the fights have been announced aside from the main event. So, gear up, my friends, for episode 2 of Fight Castle. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. This is Fight Castle, Mikey Gunzz and Taylor Radway. Let's get it. All right, Taylor. Big week for New England. Fenway Park, first ever bare knuckle fighting event in the state, and it's happening at Fenway, and it's happening on the field, which is significant because there's been some boxing cards, yours truly just called, that happened at Fenway, but it wasn't on the main field. Now, they're going big time. We're going to have the stage set up right on the diamond on Fenway. Your guy, Kai, is going to be headlining it. In the summer, nice weather. The Red Sox suck, so this is going to be the event at Fenway. What are your thoughts?
Man, this is super exciting, right? We're coming off the heels of the UFC at the White House, a groundbreaking event venue, and then BKFC to come in and follow suit. This was something that I didn't see come in. Obviously, diehard Yankee fan, but the legendary status of doing an event at Fenway Park with the history and everything that goes along with the city. Man, I was able to share some amazing time with you this past weekend downtown Boston. Man, it was absolute blast. I had so much fun. I even felt a little bit bad, man, because I'm a little biased New York, but man, I was like, Boston is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna get you to change your mind.
Cool. Yeah, I think it might have changed my mind a little bit. And so, man, this is huge. And for Kai Stewart to get this fight, for y'all that don't know, 145-pound world featherweight champion, 6 times over, King Kai Stewart, going for his 7th title defense here on August 29th at Fenway Park. The cool thing about this fight camp as well is I feel like the media doesn't give as much access and insight into what these BKFC fighters go through. Obviously, you have the embedded series with UFC, and you really get to see what these fighters go through, and you get to see a taste of their family life and their training, their diet, their exercises, everything. Right. Well, the beautiful part about this fight is if y'all go to YouTube at King Kai 145, what he is doing is he is going to be live streaming this entire fight camp. He'll be putting out multiple different videos, long form videos that you guys will be able to go and watch. Truly great stuff to get an inside look at what the 6-time world featherweight BKFC champion King Kai Stewart does leading into his 7th title defense against a hometown boy. Kai is known for fighting these guys in their hometown. He did it with Brian Duran. He did it with Howard Davis, Jimmy Rivera, all these guys. Kai went in as the hated one, and Kai left, as he always does, as the king. And so I expect that is exactly what is going to happen again here on August 29th in beautiful Fenway Park in Boston, man. And I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to be there with you, brother. We're going to have a blast. And, man, it's going to be a fight. Kai's got a little height disadvantage. It's not the first time. This hairy guy's got about 4 inches on him. And so the reach is going to be a thing, but no one has been able to stop King Kai's footwork and King Kai's pressure. And I can't wait to see it on display because everybody in Florida's seen it. Everybody loves King Kai in Florida because of the performances that he puts on. And now it's time for this New England area to get show and be able to witness the greatness that is King Kai Stewart as he takes on his 7th title defense.
Yeah, it's a good point. A lot of the New England fans up here haven't had a chance to see him up close and personal, and they haven't. This will be for the first time. This will be the first time that a lot of fight fans up here will see him at all. So, being the guy that knows his game inside out, what should they expect when they watch a Kai fight?
Man, if you have never seen a King Kai Stewart fight, man, it's something to behold, right? Because this guy was a wrestler that just kind of like stumbled into bare knuckle boxing. And so when he fights, it's not a traditional boxing type stance. It's not a traditional boxing approach that you'll see. You'll see some masterful footwork. You'll see an unbreakable cardio. And you'll see a forward pressure that no one has been able to deal with inside of the BKFC. And I don't see anybody being able to deal with it for a long time. I've been able to witness firsthand what he does at the end of his fight camp. I've been able to see what he does during his fight week and fight camp in total to make sure that he is ready to go these wars and deliver this pressure, man. And it's just all gas, no brakes when a King Kai Stewart fight is on.
I mean, you being the insider, and you probably broke the news to him about the event. What's his reaction? What are his thoughts on fighting, on this fight?
Man, Kai ultimately, he'll fight anywhere. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter who it is. But the importance around this event is that I was talking to him, and he understands how big it is, how big a deal it is. And it's only right that the BKFC puts him on there. Right now, the BKFC tripping a little bit. They have him as number 2 pound for pound, right? Well, I rightfully, maybe a little bias here, but I think he should be number 1. So it's obvious that BKFC would choose a King Kai Stewart fight to headline this event, such a massive event in Boston. Like you said, the first time in the state, man, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be off the hook. I mean, recently boxing just came back to Fenway after a 70-year absence. There hadn't been any combat sports, anything, for 70 years until last year. And I worked with the Nolan brothers, a couple of local promoters, to do that boxing event, which was, just a few weeks ago. This will be, again, just the 3rd combat sporting event in 70 freaking years at Fenway, which is crazy, but it's a historic event. We don't know what the rest of the card is going to look like, which is quite intriguing because this sets up so many possible great matchups with some fighters that are fairly local. We were talking about it before the show. Who are some of the fighters that you would like to see added to this card?
I mean, I think just because we're in the New England area, like some dream matchups that I would love to see fight in BKFC. You got Gabriel Gonzaga, you got Glover Teixeira, right? You got those two. I would love to see that. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. But somebody that could happen, and somebody that recently just won a title against one of my friends and somebody I know very well, and this title is kind of heavily disputed of who really won this fight, and there was some interesting things that happened with the judges in this fight, but Esteban Mohawk, right? Mohawk and Kai Stewart are pretty close as well. I think it would be cool for them to fight on the same card, and why not? We're in Fenway. Why not put 2 titles on the line?
What's not to love about Mohawk style? He just brings it every fight, win or lose. I mean, he would fit right in. Another guy that I think that is very well deserving of this card that I would love to see on the card is a guy you know well too, trains out of Connecticut, our guy heavyweight Parker Porter. I'd love to see him on the card as well.
Absolutely. We were at his last fight, right? And the amount of love that he saw, and like I said, we were there, so you heard it, man. When the crowd, when he came out,
chanting,
so much love and support around him in this area. I think giving him that stage would be a really cool experience and a well-deserved experience for all the wars and great performances that Parker Porter has put on.
If you haven't seen Parker Porter, he fights in a phone booth. So no matter who's fighting, it's going to be a war. I mean, Parker Porter is not afraid to get hit, to land a shot. So it's another one of those BKFC fighters that, win or lose, the crowd is the fans are gonna win. You know that because he's gonna come to fight and someone's gonna get knocked out.
The dude's hands are the size of dinner plates, man. Like that dude wins, bro.
Yes, like George Foreman hands. They're insane. They're insane. Do you think Conor McGregor's gonna show up? Just because this is the first event here in Boston, and Boston we know Boston has a huge part of Conor's heart, because Boston has just such a massive Irish population. We've seen him embrace teams like the Bruins, the Sox, the Celtics. If I was a betting man, I'd say he's going to be here, but you just never know with Conor. What do you think?
It depends how his fight against Max Holloway on July 11th goes, right?
True.
If he gets that fight, he's saying, like, if he gets that fight clean and easy, he either wants to fight again at the end of the year or the beginning of 2027. So if he has a fight booked at the end of 2026, man, I don't know. If he wins this fight and he seems locked in, no, I think he goes to fight camp. Outside of that, if he fights beginning of 2027, yeah, absolutely, I think he goes. Because I remember, he went to the one that I was at in Denver, and his ties, like you said, to Boston and everything like that, and just the Irish community there and everything, I think he'll show up for sure.
Yeah, that would be. Can you imagine?
And him and King Kai have a history together as well.
Oh, do they? Okay.
So yeah, I think he absolutely shows up for this one.
Can you imagine Media Week here in Boston with Conor McGregor, Fenway Park? It'll be like nothing combat sports in Boston has ever seen.
Yep.
Since the last time he fought here, which was in 2013, I believe, or 15, maybe 13. It's been a while, and it was massive when he fought. I think it was Dennis Seaver early in his UFC career. It would be crazy, though. I mean, with your guy King Kai undefeated, McGregor first event. Regardless, it's going to be a circus. But McGregor here will just take it to just a different stratosphere, and I'm praying it does happen, because that'll just. It'll be a global event if he's here.
Absolutely.
Another topic that I wanted to get into, that I mentioned in the open, and to me, it was shocking to see it. I was shocked when TMZ or whoever it was broke the story with the video of it. But one of my favorite fighters, I've loved him for forever, Dustin Poirier, recently had an unfortunate incident at the airport. I guess he got kicked. I guess he was, obviously drinking quite a bit, and got escorted out, kicked off his flight, and it was just so out of character, because this 30-second clip, he's he wants to fight the cop, and he's squaring up like he's ready to fight him, and it's so unfortunate, because I don't know him personally, but from everything that I've seen, everyone that I've heard talk about him, he's a class dude and a good dude. But how shocking was that when you saw this kind of just this little episode? And do you think this has hurt so much? I personally don't think so. I think everyone deserves a mulligan. Everyone has bad days, some worse than others. But just your whole thoughts on this whole incident.
Yeah, man, this one's tough, man. Dustin is one of my all-time favorite for sure. I was actually able to spend just a couple minutes around him at Kai Stewart's BKFC weigh-ins in Florida a couple months ago, man. And man, it's sad. And he he kind of showed some warning signs to it, man. And I think this speaks to a lot of things, because he even said in that podcast, man, when I don't have a fight booked, when I don't have something circled on the calendar, like I'm a danger to myself, is what he said. And, you know, clearly was under the influence of alcohol, hopefully nothing else, if they tested him. And, you know, a couple responses to that, man. I think social media is a great thing, and I think it's a horrible thing at times. Because do I think this defines who Dustin Poirier is? Absolutely not. No. Everybody has a bad day. We've all been there, type thing. Like, absolutely not. My fear, though, is with the world that we live in and everything like that, and some of the things that he said in that video.
Right.
Man, I don't know. My biggest concern is I hope it doesn't affect his TV stuff that he's doing.
I know. Yeah.
He was really fired up about that. And it speaks to a lot of things, though, with these fighters, and whether it's CTE, whether it's different injuries of like, how do you transition these warriors that put their bodies on the line every couple months for everybody's entertainment out of the sport? Some do it successfully, and some struggle.
You got to think too how tough. I don't think people realize how tough that is, because these fighters are conditioned just to fight, go back to camp to fight, get into the fighting mental state, and then when it ends, a lot of these guys, that's all they've known their whole life. It's not like they were, a physicist that just was fighting and went into fighting, and now they can go back to their other, their other specialties that they've known. A lot of these guys, this is all they know. So you got to mix that along with, guys get bored. They maybe, drink, use other substances. Then you got to factor in, there's the CTE factor. This is it's something that needs, I think, to be looked at some point, because it is a dangerous road that a lot of these fighters go down once their career ends, because it's like the whole purpose is becoming champ for so long, becoming champ, feeding the families, getting to that mountain, and then a lot of them do, and then poof, it's gone, and they just don't know how to handle. They just don't know how to handle all the nothingness, and they can do things like the TV and other stuff, but we all know that for a fighter that's not the fulfilling. It doesn't fulfill that, that need for that, that adrenaline junkie that all fighters are. So, I mean, it's something that we could probably do a whole show on this, but it's something that, it should be a concern. I'd say moving forward, just for the fight game in general.
Yeah, I mean, not even just a fight game. I think this probably speaks to a bigger issue.
Athletics, that's a great point.
Overall men's mental health, right? Like I said, Dustin Poirier, as soon as he retired, he went on that podcast, and man, he warned everybody. Yeah, he literally warned everybody, and I think that, like, whatever meaning you want to take from that, like, dude, just like checking on your boys, man. Even the ones that you think are doing great and had. Like, look, he had a heroic send-off. Obviously, he didn't win the fight, but he had a heroic send-off to his UFC career. All this, but just like, I think there's probably some deeper mental health stuff in there, whether it's caused by injury or whatever. But like checking on your boys, like, regardless of how their life looks on the outside, like I think it's a sign for everybody to take a second.
That's a great point. Especially, dude, check on your boys that seem the best too. A lot of times, those are the ones. Yeah, that are masking the most, the ones that make everything seem like it's great. They're just masters at putting on a front of, everything's great, I'm good. And a lot of those, it's important to check on your friends like that, because a lot of the ones that don't show it at all are the ones that are suffering the most. So, it's the mental health stigma. I'd like to see that become more mainstream about, guys addressing it. Because it's a very real thing, and it's we've seen it end in tragedy too many times. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People, there's that stigma on it, but I mean, for some people, go talk to someone that might help. Yeah. Like for some people, I don't know, take some mushrooms and go out into the forest.
Right.
That might help some people.
Right.
You know, like whatever it is, find whatever it is for you, and understand that everybody needs like some mental clarity at times in their life.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's true, especially now with all the advances in like therapeutic. There's a lot more open-mindedness on a lot of the therapies for some of these mental health issues. Like you said, mushrooms. I know even like there's a lot of now FDA approved ketamine treatment. Joe Rogan has all these crazy experiences of DMT or whatever kind of spiritual journeys he's gone with some of his mental healing. So there's a lot out there, and it might just be talking to someone too. There's no shame in saying I'm not okay and I need help. So I'm glad we kind of gave that a little bit. We addressed that issue because that is a major factor affecting a lot of fighters.
You want to break down these new rankings?
That's right.
The UFC, man, everybody's been talking about the rankings and everybody's been going over how sometimes they're questionable. And so what they did, which is, I think this is just some big publicity act, is they have the Meta UFC rankings that are now supposedly done by fan interest and all this other stuff.
Oh,
the issue with this, though, is when you go to the rankings now, you can see the media ones and the meta ones. So we don't really know what ones they're going to go off of. I think it's the meta ones going forward. But they released, I sent you all the men's
meta ones
on there.
Yeah.
And there's some, I don't know, some of these are some pretty interesting orders. I agree with, I think, maybe one of them in full.
Which one jumped out at you? Which either accurate or way inaccurate? Which one really jumped out at you?
I mean, I think the most accurate is the lightweight. Because after Max Holloway, it drops off. They got, obviously, Gaethje is the champion, Topuria is one, Sarukian two, Oliveira, and then Max. I think that one's pretty accurate. But then you have just some of these names that are on here. You have Bilal Muhammad in the welterweight as ranked number 7. That dude shouldn't even be ranked in the top 15. You have, I think, Hamzat being number 1 for middleweight is correct. But then you have, you have Brendan Allen, number 4. I think he's a little high there. Yeah. You have Alex Pereira still number 1 in light heavyweight. Man, he's saying he fought heavyweight. Obviously, he lost, but now he's saying that he might not even fight again.
Yeah, that's.
You have Jamal Hill, number 5 in light heavyweight. I don't know if you saw that video that came out against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill looks like he ate an entire light heavyweight. That dude is looking.
He got big,
dude. Like big. Like huge.
I didn't see. I missed that.
Yeah, dude, he's looking huge. And then you have. The heavyweight division with Josh Hokic is number 5 now on there, which is just wild. But I think that the craziest thing here is about these rankings is they don't follow them. If you're gonna have rankings, you have the number 1 ranked person fight the title holder. That's it. Other than that, and then if that person loses, then the other person moves up, and then that's how they fight. They don't follow that anyway. So who the hell cares with this new meta rankings and all this stuff? Like, get rid of the rankings. Y'all don't use them anyways. Just get rid of them. Make some awesome, exciting fights that mean something, and let's move on.
That's a great point. It really does take away any value of being ranked when it doesn't have any effect on who the next challenger to for the title is. It's really the discretion.
Arman Sarukian was ranked number 1 forever. Instead of him fighting the number 2, they have Patty and Justin fight. Justin wins. Justin goes on to fight Ilya at the White House. And we all know what happened. Man, great job to Justin. An amazing fight. But that fight was always Arman's. Arman should have had that fight.
He should have.
Due to the White House, due to Justin being American, he got a fight. So why is Arman ranked number 1? Why do you have it number 1?
That's true. It really kind of makes a mockery out of the rankings. And some of these rankings really, I mean, are just they're coin flips, and they really some of these guys that are 3 could be 10. It's you wonder who's coming up with these really, like how they're calculating whatever metrics they're calculating. It's pretty nuts.
Well, the old media way is even nuts because it's the same people. It's this radio station. It's a couple places out in New York. It's like one or two of the channels. It's nobody that's updated. It's nobody that's on the sport now. It's all these people that are just always been there, making on the ring. Half these people, I bet, don't even watch the fights.
Right.
And they're in here making rankings of these guys. And so I like that they're doing something different than the media, but you didn't really make it any better here. Now it's just like fan interest and it's like soiled by like a backdoor money deal with Meta.
It just confuses things even more. I mean, it's, I don't see any benefit of releasing this new system. One interesting guy that we had talked about before the show, signing with a new promoter, Ian Machado Guerre, is now with Eddie Hearn, which is interesting because you got Dana White now kind of crossing over into the boxing world and signing fighters for his Zuffa promotions, and now you got guys like Eddie, he's a boxing guy. He's now pulling in some of these UFC guys. What do you make of all this? Is everyone just trying to get a piece of the pie? Like, what's going on here?
This is like one of the greatest meaningless beefs ever between Dana White and Eddie Hearn. You have Dana White saying we're beating up babies, right, with this boxing, and don't judge us right now, judge us by the work at the end of the year and all this stuff. Well, dude, man, I know people like boxing. I know. I've never personally been into it other than bare knuckle, like traditional boxing. It just doesn't do it for me. But I understand the history and the significance of it.
Right.
And for Dana White to blow such a massive opportunity, and his opportunity was he wasted this entire superficial walkout of Tyson Fury on the White House event, leading to an announcement of nothing, making you think that something happened. Why did you announce you officially signed Tommy Fury? Because now you just not even announced, right? Or Tyson Fury, sorry. It's not even announced, right? And so I think they dropped the ball there. I don't care, man. I like UFC ruthless Dana White, man. The fights were better. Man, stop focusing on freaking slap fights. Stop focusing on Zuffa. Get your head back in the game with MMA and focus on that. Let boxing do what boxing's going to do and focus on getting the UFC, because there's a lot of pushback on the UFC. Some of these matchups, some of the stuff that's going on. Like, come on, man. Get your head back in the game. Be a killer. I know you're a bajillionaire now, but be a killer. Let's go.
You almost want to just kind of shake him and say, hey, stick to your guns. Like, UFC is your guns. When you're focusing on the product, you're the best. Yeah. When you're trying to dabble in all these other little things, it's just taking your focus away from what's got your bread and butter, what's gotten you here. So, it's a little mind-boggling why he would want to be dipping his toes in so many different, different areas that aren't his forte. But
I get it. I mean, he's killing on the social media views and sponsorship deals. He said it took him 6 months to make as much sponsorship money in Power Slap as it did 10 plus years in the UFC. Wow. Just because it's the most viewed thing on the internet, which I get it. But dude, you're dumb rich already. I know. Okay? I know. And my thing is, if you want to move on, I'm all about progression in life and going down all your pursuits, especially if you have the ability to do so like he does. Sure. Yeah. But make sure what you built and your claim to fame is set up to run efficiently and properly, because I don't think it is right now. Yeah. And
it seems like all these promoters now are trying to one-up each other. They're all trying to now, I'm the best in boxing. Now I'm going to cross over and try to be the best in your sport. And it's like, take a step back. Stick to your guns again. But it's wild. I don't know if it's just a power thing, if it's just an ego thing. But
well, that's the difference with boxing. Boxing, ultimately, no matter how many mega promoters are out there, you have 4 or 5 options to go to. Yeah. In MMA, you have one. You have the UFC.
Great
That's
point.
it.
Yeah. It's competition is healthy. You want more competition. And it's crazy too. All the promotions that have come and gone since the UFC, has been thriving for so many years. With the Strike Forces, the Bellators,
WEC, Cage Warriors. I guess Cage Warriors still around.
So many but you want competition breeds, more competitive fights, more competitive salaries.
Absolutely.
I did hear that Scott Coker, the former CEO of Bellator, I guess he's launching a new promotion, which can't hurt. We'll see how it does.
He's the one doing GFL, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if they're second. Because they tried to launch promising healthcare, promising all this stuff for the fighters, right. And then it was like 2 weeks before their event, they had to cancel it because they're like, "Shit, we don't got no money." And so
right. Just it seems like it's the Achilles heel, which is
but supposedly they got like 62 million behind it now or something like that. So I hope that goes off. It's kind of a cool format. It's teams, right? It's like our hood versus your hood. It's like Team LA versus Team Miami, and so it's like each team has heavyweight, each team has light heavyweight, things like that. And so it's a kind of cool little format. Quentin Rampage Jackson, he started his own promotion as well, similar to like kind of that type setup. So, that I think it's exciting. I like having the other options. I don't necessarily know if I love Jake Paul and MVP, but I like that there's other options that people can go get paid to fight.
Yeah. It's at least you want to see people trying, and some people trying to make noise. It can only push everyone to do better. So
right.
Well, with that being said, that's going to do it for episode 2 of Fight Castle. Huge thank you to everyone that's tuned in. If you'd enjoyed the show, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you do not miss any new episodes. Also, drop a comment below. Let us know what fights you want to see at Fenway. Seeing as the card still it's still a blank card aside from the main event. Let us know in the comments who you want to see on the card. Be sure to follow me, Mikey Two Gunzz, Taylor Radway on Instagram. We got a lot of exciting things in the works we haven't even touched upon, which we will be unveiling in the weeks to come. But for Taylor Radway, I'm Mikey Two Gunzz. Thank you for watching Fight Castle. Remember, keep your hands up, your chin tucked, and we'll catch you next time.